Prepare to be transported back in time with my stunning medieval house in ARK Survival Ascended. This build aims to bring the charm and essence of the Middle Ages back to your ARK worlds. Utilising the brilliant Castlecraft structure skins, this base offers a cosy yet functional abode for all your needs. Inside this base you'll find a dining area for you and your tribe to feast on some of ARK's bounty, a upstairs living area to relax and recharge, a bedroom for a good night's sleep after a long day of adventure, and outside you have integrated stables to keep your horses safe and sound. If you find yourself enjoying today's video, don't hold back, smash that like button, comment what you want to see me build next, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now without further ado, let's dive into today's video. Hello ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome back to a brand new building tutorial with me, Lols at Lance. Just quickly, if I sound a little bit different today, I changed my mic and I don't feel like I sound like myself anymore. It's weird, but hopefully I do sound like myself and I'm just tripping. Anyway, today we're going medieval with this stunning medieval house base. Honestly, it's one of the prettiest builds I've ever designed, and it makes full use of the amazing Castlecraft structure skin cosmetic. And yes, this base will be available as a template for tier 3 members on launch. So if you'd like to get your hands on it, plus a load of other builds, consider becoming a channel member today. Also, we are so close to hitting 30,000 subscribers, which, oh my god, I can't believe it. It's absolutely crazy. So if you enjoy my content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this. So let's get into it. Today's build is located on the gorgeous Ragnarok map at Latitude 13.5 and Longitude 82.6. Right in the open grassy fields at the top of the map. Wood is a little bit sparse in this area, but in return you get plenty of flat terrain, a large river nearby, and a beautiful foggy atmosphere that really helps set the medieval scene. Okay everyone, I've got my favourite pink cape on and I'm ready to start the tutorial. So, to start off the tutorial today, we're going to start off with one singular foundation. Now I am going to be using foundations. Obviously if you're building on, bumpy terrain, maybe use pillars and then ceilings on top. Just like this, I'll show you. So a pillar, then you just want to do ceilings on top. Rather than just using the foundations, you'll do it this way. Also, just to note, you can use whatever materials you'd like. If you just want to use thatch for this build, you can just use thatch, which means you could use this as a starter build. But I'm going to go ahead and use stone and wood for this. So let's start off by going 1, 2, 3 to the left. And then from here, you're going to go 1, 2, oopsie daisy, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again from the left, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then continue down this line by another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then now from the right, we're going to go down the line by 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to add 2 quarters on the left and on the right here. We're also going to come over to the section to the left of this and add in a line of quarters going across. And then let's come back to this section in front. We're going to go across by 8 again. So all the way across. Okay, so this is what it's looking like at the moment. And we're simply going to grab our quarters at the front. So where we put in the original 3 going across, we're going to add in 2 quarters in the middle. And that, ladies and jelly spoons, that is the foundation for the base, which isn't very big at all. I say I could even call this a starter base at this point, but it's not. I don't think I can. I think people would absolutely roast me. Okay, so now we're going to start adding in the walls. Now for the walls, we're going to be using stone at the bottom and then wood at the top. So I'm going to start off with this little entranceway, which is simply going to be a door, followed by quarter walls either side. And then we want to add 2 walls going high behind this and around and going back here as well. And I'm probably going to add another one here as well. So that's 2 on that side And this side can stay as it is, that's fine. Now I'm actually going to ignore the quarter foundations we put down here earlier. And I'm just going to go behind that and add in some walls. Going 2 high in total. And all the way around. Now, when you get to this section here, so this is just to the right of the entranceway. So there's these 2 foundations here. We're going to ignore them for now. And come around and simply attach those. There we go. Okay, so it should look like this. I've made one small mistake here. I just need to get rid of these walls here. Sorry about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, those walls shouldn't be there. The top layer, just here. So that should be fine now. Which means it should look something like this. Okay, for the next stage, we're going to be adding in some quarter walls going around some of these sections. Now, not all of the sections will have quarter walls. So this section here at the front, all the way around this little nub sticking out, that's not going to have quarter walls, but the rest is. So this section here is going to have quarter walls coming all the way around to around about here. And then this section on the opposite side will also have quarter walls. So it now should look something like this. My voice just cracked then, didn't it? That's embarrassing. Anyway, okay, so let's start adding in these nubs. So we've got these nubs here, 1, 2 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4 little quarter foundations there. And then we've got this section as well as this section as well. This is going to be a sticky out section. So let's start off with this section here. So we're going to go up with quarter walls on the left by 2 and on the right by 2. We're then going to use a window. So I'm going to grab the window and place it in the middle. If you get the right snap, you can snap it to the quarter walls you've already placed down. Okay, so here we're going to add in a wall. Now, we're not going to add in the roof on top of this straight away. We're actually going to add in our quarter ceilings going around the rim. And when I say around the rim, actually just the front part there. So it's going to be from the front part here. Then we're going to add in our quarter ramps on top of this, followed by a roof. So let's grab the roof. There it is. Let's place that in. Perfect. That's what it should look like. The only issue being is we have a big gap here, which is hard to fill in. But what we're going to do is we're going to add in our stone sloped wall there. Then we're going to switch it over to this one and try and place it inside this. Now, obviously, if you're on official, you're not going to be able to do this and clip into each other. So you may have to find... In fact, a lot of this build might clap. It might clap. Apparently, it's going to clap, guys. It might clip into each other, so this isn't probably not very official friendly. You'll have to find some other methods to do this section. Or just do it slightly differently. You don't have to do it like I did it. You could do this completely flush and it will still look good. Right, I'm going to use my railing below this like that. There we go. Okay, that is pretty perfect. Now, everything you've just done here, you're actually going to repeat on this section here. So this needs to be a window. And then the roof is exactly the same, guys. It's literally identical. So I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Okay, this side's looking pretty good. I think we need to move on to these sections that we've missed out and fill them in. Now, this one here, we're going to do slightly differently. Starting off with quarter walls coming up, similar to before. Then we're going to add in a doorway this time, I think. And then rather than sticking out with the quarter ceilings here, I think I want to be different. I just want to use... Now, this is the way you'd probably do it on official, to be honest. So you do it with quarter roofs coming along here. And then you do it with the ramps afterwards. You wouldn't bother with the quarter ceilings. This section here, we're going to be able to cover this up with castle craft later, the skin. And the way you do that is with a quarter wall. So you want to place in a quarter wall here. And then simply when we skin this later, this is going to turn into a little corner sloped roof. Sloped roof, sloped wall. Now, coming around to the side here, what are we going to do here? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go up by 2 again. Put in a window in the middle. And pretty much do the same thing we did on the other side. So let's go ahead and do this now. Okay, this side's looking good, and this side's looking good. We just need to do this middle section here. So we're just going to quickly just add in some little quarter roof pieces going up, like so, and that's all we're doing there. This section here, actually, we're going to fill in with the Castlecraft skin later. So we need to put a quarter wall there, and a quarter wall here as well, and then we'll change them over later. Okay, right. Well, I say it's time to add in the next section, which is going to be the top part of the build now. So we're moving on up. We're moving on up. Okay, that's enough. So we're going to add in quarter ceilings going around the rim. And then we're going to add in quarter walls. Now, it's up to you. You don't have to add in quarter walls. So you can just do 2 walls to save on, structure count. But I'm going to add in 2 walls going high all the way along. And then right in the middle, so following this up, you want a wall right here, which is going to turn into a window later. And then we're going to do quarter walls either side of this. And then either side of this, we're going to add in a wall. Now, guys, don't worry about these little gaps in between the building, in between the walls. It's fine. They're going to disappear once the skins are added. I know a lot of you have OCD in the comments, and yeah, that would trigger me too, probably. But they're going to disappear. So now we just need to add in our slope walls going up. 1, 2. Then our walls. And then our sloped walls again. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So let's just move on to the next section, which is this section right here. We're going to add in quarter ceilings going around the rim again. Very similar to what we've just done here. We're basically repeating the same thing again now. But on this side, we're only going to go up to around about here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in total. Because this section here is going to come all the way back here. We're going to have another section that sticks out this way. But we just haven't... We're leaving that till last. We're leaving that till last. Okay, guys. So what you're going to do now is you're repeating what you did just here. You're going to repeat this again. But right here. You're going to repeat that again here. So let's get to it now. Okay, this side's added in, looking pretty nice. We now need to do this side. Okay, I said I'd leave this side to last, and this is the back side now. So let's work this out. I just realised I went a little bit further than I should have right here, because it actually ends right there. So this just needs to match the opposite side. So this actually ends, as you can see. I don't know what this is doing here. Oh, I see. Okay, this is fine. I've got a little section here that goes across, and that's fine. We're gonna leave that as it is. Let's just pretend I never touched that. It's fine. So, underneath these sections, so this section and this section, all we're going to do is add in a wall, quarter wall on that side, and a quarter wall on this side. So I'm going to flip it around, there we go. Then I'm going to add a wall off of this snap point that we've just made, so there, going up by 2, coming around, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then, Jesus Christ, you're so loud. Where's my admin gun? I cannot stand pteranodons disturbing me when I'm trying to work. That's what you get. And that's what you get. Thank you very much. Okay, I think we've got a bit of a volcano situation. That's a bit annoying when I'm trying to record everything. The pteranodon, I kill the pteranodon, and then a volcano starts. It's, what an absolute mess. Honestly, guys, subscribe. Or good time to say subscribe, right? The sound of a volcano is fine. We're just going to deal with that. We're going to add in another wall here. Coming out by 1, 2 again. We're then going to add in some ceilings coming out from the quarter wall. Coming along here. And then finally, we need to add in some quarter ceilings at the very end. And then it's literally just a carbon copy of what we did over here. We're just going to do the same again on this side. Okay, that's looking pretty good all in all. I'm pretty happy with this. I think I've missed a section here, haven't I? Whoopsie daisy. Under here, there's some walls missing. So let's just add in some walls coming along here. So I'm just using some quarter walls here. Okay, so this sticky out section we've just got here, we do need to add in some foundations under this because we'll make it look like it's supported in a minute. So we're going to come out by 1, 2, 3 in total for now. We'll go up by 3 and then along by 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, we didn't go far enough. We didn't go far enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 to the left and 3 this way, and that should look something like that. Okay, ladies and gents, well, we've made good progress so far, but now it's time for the roof. And the roof should be fairly straightforward, I hope. So we're going to just add in simply our roof tiles at the front, going up and then down. Then we're going to go an extra one out for a little bit of an overhang. Now for the overhang on the sides, we're going to use our quarter ramp coming out. So it should look something like this very, very simple roof. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side, and this side. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, now comes the awkward part, which is joining this all together. And not even I remember how I joined these together, so we're just going to do this together now. So I think for definite, we're going to go all the way along on the highest part. So this section in the middle, that's higher. So this is the front, but this section in the middle is the highest part of the base, right? We're going to just go across the top like that, and on the other side, we're going to do the same. Then we're going to work out this. Now, this is a little bit tricky, isn't it? In fact, this is very tricky. I think this is where, you know, official players will have a hard time unless they do the build all the same size. So you don't have this going a little bit higher. Okay, so I think we also just go along this section as well, all the way. and this section as well. And then these sections here, I think we simply use... Do we use the quarters here? This might be a quarter situation. If I use the quarters now, then we might be in a position to use the triangle. Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, this section here, though, doesn't, unless we use the quarters again. So if we use the quarters again, this might actually work. Quarters. And then triangle. Oh my god, it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. Okay, so let's just recap what I just did on the front section. What section I'll just do that on? That section there? Okay. This is good for official players. I'm working this out. So probably at the top we need to have the quarters. So this is the top of the roof now. At the top we do 2 quarters. Then a triangle. So a corner roof, a wood roof corner. And then here, obviously this doesn't work. So what we can do is delete this one below. Like so. Then you put in 2 quarters. But then if you add a triangle in, that should be perfect now. That's absolutely perfect. We have this little gap here. We can fill it in with either a quarter wall and then a ramp coming across like that. That's how it should look. So you just got to do the exact same thing on the sections at the back as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now quickly. Okay, so this is what this is looking like right now. Looking pretty decent, honestly. I know it's just the shape. It's the bare bones of the base is what we're looking at right now. The bare bones of the base. And I really like the bare bones of the base. The bare bones of the base is a beautiful base in itself. But we're going to move up to the roof now. So, from the entranceway, this is the entranceway that we added in earlier. We're going to just move to the right of the roof. To this square right here. You see this square right here? We're deleting that. That's gone. We're going to instead add in some quarters here. And you'll see why in a second. So quarter, 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 quarter. And then we're going to go up. From one of these quarter pieces, there should be a stat point here now in the middle. We're going to use our pillar to go up by 1, 2 high in total. We're going to add in triangles going all the way around this. So triangle, 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 triangle. Delete that. We're then going to bring some walls coming down this. So we're first of all going to use a stone wall there. Or stone window rather. And then a wall. And the same all the way around. Now, you notice I did have to clip my walls through the roof. Is there a way to do it without clipping? Maybe with a sloped wall here, but not really. This is really hard to do without clipping in, so I'm just going to clip. I'm going to embrace the clipping. So above this, we're going to go around this section with quarter walls. And then around this, we're going to use quarter ceilings. So I'm going to go quarter ceiling, quarter ceilings, quarter ceiling, quarter ceiling. There's going to be a little gap here. Don't worry about that. And then we want to do our roof. Now for the roof, we're going to be adding in a middle section. So I'm going to use our triangle roof first of all. We're going to put this in the middle like this, going all the way around. And then on these quarter ceilings that we just added, we're going to add in a quarter roof on each of them. And then a triangle on top of this. So it should look something like this. Now, future planning for our skin that we're going to be adding in later, I do want to add in some quarter walls as well below this. And these will turn into little supports for the structure. Very, very nice. That is one tower done, but I am going to add in a second tower here. Not as big, Not as big and glorious as this one, but it will still be a tower. Okay, so for the tower on this side, pretty easy this one, to be honest. We're just going to use a ceiling. Now, this ceiling is going to start from, so this is the front. We're going to go around to the left, and this wall here is where it's going to start. So we're going to add in a ceiling below. Then on top of that, we're just going to add in a wall here, a wall here. We might have to delete some of these. This is fine. We just get rid of those and go up one. And then on top of this, we're going to use quarter walls now. Just again, I'm going to delete some of these because they're going to be in the way. That's fine. So quarter walls. And then we want to add in windows above this. So I'm going to add in 2 windows. And then around the rim of this, we're simply going to add in quarter ceilings. And then a roof. And for the roof, we just want to use the wood roof corner. That is pretty nice. And to be honest, let's just add in a little bit of support as well with some stairs going into the build like that. BEA, beautiful. I love that. I love it. Okay, just a little bit of additional planning for when we skin this, which is coming up soon. We're just going to add in some more quarter walls going along this. Now, I just want to show you guys something. If we go into cosmetics, we get up our Castlecraft structure skin. We get the trim out. So this is the trim, and yeah, so this is what I was wondering. You just save yourself a little bit of trouble if you get these walls the right way around. So it might be worth checking. So this one's the wrong way round, and I'm going to quickly change it to a wood support. But you are able to flip the skin, so it's not too much stress if you can't get it right. But it's all going to be like this, basically. So what were these again? Let's just put them back. So it's going to be this side. I just need to memorize that, and it just saves me a bit of time later on when we come to skin. Okay, well, for the next part, I say we go absolutely crazy with our good friend, the pillar. So the pillars are going to go pretty much everywhere you can possibly imagine. They're just going to be absolutely everywhere. They're going to be all over this section of the build up here. So we're going to go up with the pillars on this side. In fact, let me do this whole side with you. And then you know what we're going to do on this side and on this side as well. So we're going to go up either side of those. We're going to go, we're going to do a funky pattern across this section here. So first of all, I'm going to use the pillars to go across the bottom. Then we're going to do a funky pattern with our little half pillars going all the way along. Then they're going to go along again. Okay, so we went all the way along there, then we did 2 either side of the middle. So this is the window now we're going around. So I want 1 here, 1 here. This will be important later when we come to skin this, as you'll see in a bit. Then 1 here, 1 here. Then we're simply going to go across like so, all the way. Now, I kind of want to have loads of pillars up here, actually. The way you can do this, because I forgot to put quarter walls in here earlier, there is another way you can do this, and that's by using the the half pillars going all the way along here. And then you should be able to snap to these half pillars if you're lucky. Not all the time. Okay, sometimes it doesn't work. Actually, no, it does work. Just use the half pillar again. Watch this. Look at that. It works. It does work. Go all the way up. And there we go. But we're not done there because I still want to do pillars coming down here. So actually, I'm going to use a half pillar here on each of the sections coming along. Then a full beam coming along this on either side. And then simply just want to bring the pillars straight down into the ground on the corners. And then for this tower here, probably the same sort of thing. Just want to go up on the corner half pillars around the quarter walls that we added in earlier. This is why we added them. And then a pillar coming around the middle. That is fan-dabby-dozy. So everything we've just done here, guys, including this bottom section here, you're going to want to repeat on this side and on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all the pillars on each of the sides, it should look something like this. Now, I just want to point out that you don't really have to follow what I did. You can do your pillars however you want to. This bit's really up to you, honestly. You don't have to do the exact same design with the pillars that I've done. You can do it however you want. And honestly, it will still come out looking fantastic. I've just realized I missed a small section here that I would like to skin. There we go. Or pillar up. So the back side, we need to add in some pillars coming down each of the sections. Now, I did cock up a little bit underneath. You know, earlier I did ceilings coming out. You actually need it so it's quarter ceilings coming all the way around the rim, all the way around to this section over here. I've just gone ahead and quickly deleted the ceiling and changed it out for quarter ceilings here. And this is just so that I can connect my pillars to this section. As you can see, I've got a snap point now. Right, so we're going to add in this pillar coming down by 2. And again right here. So we're going to miss 2 quarter ceilings next to that. Place in another one. And we'll do the same on the other side here. So 2 coming down. And then another 2 coming down. And then we're simply going to get our wooden beams and go across the middle section of this. So 1, 2, and on the other side as well, 1 and 2. And then from these pillars here, we're going to be adding in a quarter wall going all the way across. And then we're going to add in pillars underneath this. Can I add in a pillar underneath this? I can't. Okay, what we're going to do instead then, oopsie daisy, that's just completely gone, is add in a half pillar there, a half pillar again, and then a pillar. And then from there, you can just go across, because you've got the snap point now. There we go. Isn't that looking fantastic? Look, there's another Pteranodon to annoy me. And he just pooed. And he just pooed. Unbelievable. Look at that. Disgusting. Who doesn't know how to flush the... Anyway. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. We're going to turn this into a stables maybe later. I don't really know what this is going to turn into. Okay, guys, we're super close to being able to skin the base now. Super, super close. But first of all, I just want to do one additional detail on this side of the build. I'm just going to add in 2 little bay windows coming out. 2 little windows coming out. So how am I going to do that? The answer is I'm not sure. I think we're going to get rid of this wall here. Change it for quarter walls. And this one, change it for quarter walls. And this is a good spot for a window right here, I think. So what I'm going to do is get myself a quarter foundation, place it in front. We're going to add a quarter wall here, 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 and here. Although I don't have a snap point for this yet, that's fine. Let's then go ahead and use quarter ceilings, and then I should have a snap point right here. There we go. Then this here will be the window. And we just go up by another 2 each of the sides. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then on top of this, we can add in our roof. Now, hopefully this isn't in the way. It shouldn't be. Let's add in the roof. And then below this, a little ramp. Just like that. That's just a little cute little place for a window. That'll be a window right there. And then we'll just do the same on the other side. So let's go ahead and do that now. There we go. Well, guys, now that that's all done, we are officially ready to start skinning this base, which is going to be a task. But let me show you guys what I'm using. So we got the Castlecraft skin right here, and we're going to be using the castle, the village, and the trim, which is all in my inventory ready. Along with the variant gun, you can download this mod. It's super useful for copying and pasting skins over. Very, very useful mod. So we're going to be using, wherever there's stone, we're going to be using the castle mod. Castle cosmetic, rather. So like this. So this is all stone. We'll be placing in the stone, like so. Wherever there's wood, we're going to be using the village cosmetic. All along these, so in between the pillars as well, like this. So that's wherever there's wood. Wherever there's a roof, we're going to be using the castle one. So that's the stone one. And we should be able to get these lovely tiles. Now, for these ramps, you're going to place them in, but then change the variant. So I'm just going to change them over to the terracotta roof, like so. For the windows, you want to use the trim. So I'm going to select my trim and then place in a window wherever I wanted a window. So, you know, we said we left this space for a window earlier. Well, we're going to place in a window like that. Isn't that lovely? Now, the only other thing that I want to do, guys, is actually use another cosmetic here. So we're going to use the Bob Talltales DLC Frontier skin, which is in this folder. And we're going to use this structure skin. Now, this is part of the Bob Talltales DLC. So if you don't have it, then just keep it as it is, because these pillars as well look fantastic. Or you could just use the pillars that are part of the village mod. As you can see, this is what they look like. Just nice black beams. But honestly, I quite like the way it looks with the Frontier. So let me just show you. This is the Frontier, which is like a slightly darker brown. And I just think it contrasts really nicely against the white. So that's what I want to use for this. And then lastly, the only other piece that I need to talk about are these quarter wooden walls. So these are going to be utilizing the trim. So we're going to swap these over to the trim. And then below this section, I don't want this variant. I actually want the other variant, which is the wood support. That's the variant I want. That is the variant I want. So an easy way to change these around, if you do have the Sandy's variant gun mod, you can just change the variant for this gun. Look at that. Super easy, super simple. You can also copy and paste skins. Let me just show you. So you change the mode pressing G on keyboard. Then you copy the skin. And then you paste the skin. Just like this. So guys, I'm going to go away and skin the entire base as I just told you. And you're going to do the exact same thing. But it's going to take me a long time to do. So it's best to do it off camera. Don't want to do it in super fast build mode and make you all motion sick. So yeah, I'm going to go away and do all of this now. And I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all the skins, it should look something like this. Now, just a few things to note. Nothing major though. On this tower on the left, I decided to add in the Frontier skin on the walls as well. And I also did it on the walls going around this section here. Not all the way around, which I'd like to. Let's quickly do that now. Not a really big detail, but I think it just, I don't know. I prefer it. So I'm probably going to do it like this. So do it in here as well. And coming around there. Okay, just another quick note here, guys. If you use the Castle Craft Decor skin, my cat just popped up on the table. Hang on a minute. Let's move that over there. So we're going to use that on a pillar. Now, if we use it on a pillar, what happens? It turns into a shutter. Look at that. It turns into a shutter. And we can scale the skin. So I'm going to scale it down ever so slightly. Maybe by 0.2. That's too far. We're going to go a bit higher. Scale skin up again. And then we're going to change the variant. So it's flipped out like this. And it's actually still the wrong way around. So we need to flip the skin as well. Let me flip it. Is it rotate or flip? Scale skin, flip skin. There we go. So it should be like that actually. And then we can change the variant. There we go. So you can do something fancy like this. Look at this. You can have a shutter on your window. And I think if I'm having it, I want it to slightly ajar. Like that would be nice. Slightly ajar. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Again, I'll do it slightly ajar. Like so. Isn't that lovely? The reason I did it 0.1 smaller is because we've got these pillars coming across. And we don't want it to go into those. So let's just scale it down ever so slightly. So it's not too noticeable that it's going into there. Actually, you know what? We'll do this one again by another one. There we go. Now, the other fun thing you can do, guys, is actually go ahead and add in another pillar below the window. Use the decor skin again. And look, we got ourselves a little balcony out here. Now, you can't stand on the balcony. But what you can do is just simply get yourself a quarter ceiling. So I'm going to get a quarter ceiling. I'm going to add those in. And then skin it in the village one. And then you've got yourselves a fancy little balcony. And you can actually scale that up and scale that down if you'd like. So let's find the skin, the wooden beam. There we go. So if we wanted to, we could scale this up to a massive size, as you can see, which is absolutely insane. We're not going to do that. I just wanted to show you that's possible. Isn't that cool? I didn't even know this existed. And then Aaron actually messaged me and said, Lance, did you know that this was a thing? I didn't know. I didn't know. And you can actually change the variant as well. Let me just show you the other variant. Oopsie daisy. Hang on a minute. It's not that one. It's this one. So change the variant to a canopy. And look, there's a canopy version as well. And you can actually paint the canopy too. Which is pretty damn cool. I love it. So there you go. I'm probably going to do this across all of the windows, just so you know. So I'll have the shutter and the canopy section across all of these sections going around. And if you didn't have this as an option, the other option you can do is just simply place in a little box. So we're going to do 2 ceilings. And then below this, we're just going to do walls. Like so. And then 2 ceilings again. Okay, so once we've added in those details, which I'll do a bit later, I don't need to do them now. I'd say the outside is basically done. We'll probably add a little patio, but honestly, guys, it's up to you how you do your patio. I mean, my patio will literally just be a few foundations sticking out like this. And then we'll have a little staircase coming up to it as well. Something like this. We'll have a little staircase coming up and some foundations. Now, I will just point out that the foundations over here, I decided to do this variant of the skin. So there's a few little variants here. We've got flagstone, default, and smooth tile. I went for the smooth tile, which I think works quite nice. Okay, guys, well, look, it's time to start working on the inside. There will be some finishing touches that we do on the outside, but for now, let's pop on into the inside. Now, I did put the skin on the floor in here as well, but as you can see, there's a few things to tidy up in here. So I'm just going to walk us through this now. So the first thing you might notice is this gap here. And now the first thing that I'm going to attempt to tidy up is this little gap here with, I can't do it with a quarter wall. So instead I'm going to do it with a railing going all the way along. Now, hopefully on the outside, that doesn't really show. Not particularly, and I wonder if when we put this skin on, let's see what this looks like when we do this. I think it will stick out a little bit, but not like horrifically, right? Yeah, that's okay in my book. You don't have to do this, you can just leave it as it is. If it doesn't bother you, you can just leave it with a little gap. Okay, then don't forget on these corners where there's a little gap, don't forget to add in a quarter wall. So we're going to place in a quarter wall. Then I'm simply going to copy and paste. So I've got to go out here to change the mode, because otherwise I end up deleting things. Paste that in. Then change the variant. Again, I'll do that out there. Change the variant to the triangle. Then we can just flip the skin the right way round, which is that way round. Although, doesn't completely fill that in, but it's close enough. You also see, like up here, I accidentally added in too many quarter walls earlier, so we can just delete those. They're fine. And then we just need to change the skin of these as well. And then lastly, you'll probably just notice that there's a few pillars missing in places, like down this line here. We could do with some pillar action. And that section there as well. You'll find a few places like this, just tidy them up. It's not a big deal. Just sort them out. Add in maybe on the corners as well here. Okay, so that's what you need to do, guys. Just neaten it up in places that need neatening up, and it should all look pretty good. It should all look pretty good. So the next thing we're going to be doing, guys, is doing the layout for the base. Now, for the layout, I think that the second floor is going to start from where we've got all these quarter ceilings going around. Now, the only thing with this is you can see we got this section down below. We're actually going to cover this up with ceilings as well. Let me show you. So if I add in ceilings here, like so, and you could use this bottom area as like secret storage if you wanted to, maybe that's an option. And then we're just going to fill in the rest of the floor from here. There we go. So we've got a whole second floor here. Now, obviously, if you wanted to third floor, you could definitely fit a loft space in this room by probably doing a ceiling from here. You got definitely enough room for a loft space if you need it. But we are going to be adding in our stairs now and working out where it's going up to. Now, I think it's going to go up to somewhere around here. If we add in 2 quarter ceilings here, and then grab our stairs. Now, I'm going to be using quarter stairs, I've decided. Where are my quarter stairs? There they are. We have quarter stairs. Why not use them, eh? Why not use them? So I'm going to have quarter stairs coming all the way down to the ground, like so. Just like this. So this is going to be our stairway up. Now, I am going to need to delete the ceiling. And then we're just going to fill in the outside with quarter ceilings like this. And we should be able to get up and down pretty nicely. Now, sadly, when it comes to the railings for the stairs, we're not going to be able to snap to the quarter stairs. There's no snap point for these quarter stairs. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to put a railing up here. Then from that railing, we're going to use it to snap the next railing, make it go down. And we're just going to keep snapping to this railing until we get to the floor, just like this. And then we can go back up the stairs and delete this one. And it should stay. And it did stay. So we're all good. And then to finish this off, I'm probably going to give it a little bit of support. So it looks like it's not just unsupported, by using a pillar coming down. Maybe a second pillar as well. There we go. Okay, so that's... honestly, this is the layout kind of done. This is the layout kind of done. I've just realised, though, this section here... what should we do with this? Now, if we delete this, obviously we're going to have to put in some quarter walls here. So these will need to change to quarter stone walls either side. And then we've got this whole section here as well. Like so. So then we've got this area to play with if we want to do anything in here. This section here, this would be a nice place for a bit of storage underneath. And then you've got the mantle on top, the shelf on top. Okay, and then upstairs, do I want to separate the rooms out upstairs? Maybe. There's a chance I might. Oh, hello. It's Editing Lance here. How are you doing? I go on a huge tangent about this tower, and I kind of bring these tower walls all the way down to the second floor. But in the end, I never even bother with that. I delete it all because it's rubbish. So we're just going to skip past this bit, and if you see a big wall area in the middle of the build, don't worry about it. It's nothing. Maybe we don't keep it all open plan. Maybe this will be like a private bedroom here. I don't know, guys. Listen. When it comes to the interior, it's really up to you. I like to go away and kind of design the interior off camera. And then you guys get to see it during the base tour and decide, how you want to build it yourselves. I'm just here to give you ideas for the interior, really. But there you go. So that's what I'm thinking. Probably will change. I might not even do the tower thing there, but I do like the idea of having some sort of nice big fire. Okay, guys, you know what? I said that I wasn't going to do all the exterior details on camera and I was just going to finish it off camera, but I'm not. I'm actually going to do the exterior details with all of you. All of the finishing touches that I usually do off camera. On the outside, anyway, I'm going to do them on camera for you now. The inside, as I said, I'm you know, I'm probably just going to do the decoration off camera. I hope that's okay with everyone. It's not going to be anything special. Here comes my cat, if you just heard him. Okay, so for the outside, what are we going to do? Well, let me tell you, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use some railings across the underneath side of the roof. Just like this. And we're going to do that on every single side. We're also going to make sure we've got our balcony on each of the sides and the shutters. So let's go ahead and quickly do that now. Whoops. The only thing with this gun is when you press G on keyboard, if you're in creative mode, that button means deleting something. So then I have to turn away like this. And then I can change the mode, copy it, and then paste it in. Otherwise you just end up deleting stuff, which is a bit frustrating. Okay guys, I'm just going to show you another trick that you can do. If you would like to not do the shutters like this, you could also do the shutters like this by simply using maybe the frontier skin or just some wood. And you can just place in as long as there's 2 quarter walls either side, and then you place in your skin or you just leave it as wood, then it's going to look like this, which is pretty cool. Which does give the effect of shutters, I think, anyway. The other thing we're going to need to do here, guys, is just copy the village skin and paste it in to these railings. And then we want to change the variant to the one with the cross, just like this. And there we go. We got our balconies all placed in, going around, and our railings and our shutters. So that's looking pretty decent. Okay, for the next section, guys, we're going to focus on the patio. Now, this is going to be quite a small patio, I think. And I'm just going to be using quarter foundations and normal foundations. Now listen guys, you can do this however you'd like. You can go out further than me, you can go in shorter than me. You don't even have to have a patio. But I am going to make a patio, so I'm going to go ahead and put this all in now. Okay, so I'm thinking something like this, guys, for the front section of the patio. The only thing is this top part doesn't match the bottom part. So what I thought the counter measure for this would be is maybe do walls here. So the way I got a quarter wall to go in here is I simply did, to be honest, use a full wall. Why would I use a quarter wall when we can use a full wall? So the way I did this is I placed a wall on top, then placed a wall below, then deleted the wall on top, and then that one should stay. And then we should... What just happened? It just magically disappeared. God damn it. Let me try again. Right. Point this way, copy and paste. Here we go. Copy, paste. Then variant, change to just the black. There we go. So I think that's a good way around that if you don't want to have the stone texture underneath, which I don't think I do. I'd also be tempted to do this with the frontier skin, I'll see going forward. I'll see. But let's go ahead and do the backside now as well. Okay, well that's what it looks like with the Frontier skin instead. And I do prefer that, honestly. I do prefer this, so we'll probably change all of this later as well. Just change these over simply to the Frontier skin like that. Okay, guys, the last additional detail for this house is going to be the I hate holding this gun. Get it out of my hand. I'm going to use the JVH landscaping mod. It's a fantastic mod. Use it all the times in my builds. You guys have seen me use it plenty of times. You just got to shove in some thatch, fiber, and wood. Well, actually, just wood or fiber, or stone even for the stone pieces. But I'm going to use this bush here. JVH temperate plants. I'm going to craft that. I've already got one in my inventory, so I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to use this on the balconies as a little plants on the balconies. So this one on the balcony here. I'm going to use another bush for the roof. So I'm going to probably use this bush for the roof, going all the way up. And we can even use, now I use this one quite a lot as well, the scorched earth plants, again, just crafted up inside the JVH bench. You can get these lovely pink flowers. I use these a lot on my roofings. Sometimes they work. I mean, in this case, they're going to blend in quite a lot with the roof because the roof's a similar color. But let's just place those in a few different places like that. And it ends up giving quite a nice effect that I love. So I'll probably end up doing it on this side as well. Why not? Very nice. So something like this. And then we'll just do the balconies again with plants. Okay, the other thing I want to show you guys is making a chimney. Now, if we just use some pillars, so I'm going to do one probably just one at the front here. That's probably way too high. That's way too high, but I'm going to use my gun to quickly copy and paste. So we're going to copy the stone and paste those in. Then we're going to use our variants, so go through these variants. There's quite a few variants to this skin, and I really like this one. I think this one looks like a good chimney. So I'm going to do that one there, and do this one here. And I think, doesn't that look like a good chimney to you guys? I mean, I think it does anyway. And while we're here, we better as well change the variants of this to a nice triangular archway. There we go. If we're feeling crazy, we could go one higher, a half higher here. So I'm going to do a half higher, copy and paste, copy, paste, variant, change. Oh, yeah. And you know what we can do, which is a fun little additional detail on top of this, is if you do have the Bob Tool Tales DLC, you can go ahead and craft yourself up a plant pot. So I'm going to grab that. And then I'm going to place it on top of the chimney, or off the pillars. And look at this. Doesn't that look fantastic? The other thing we're going to do with the pillars as well is we're going to line the very top of this roof with pillars. So going all the way along the top. Okay, that's looking good. Now, I did go half a pillar out on each of the sides, apart from this one here. I did try a full pillar just then, but I decided it was too much. I think half a pillar there coming out is nice. And then we can simply copy and paste the village skin onto these. Now, I think the village skin will work better here rather than the brown beams. Oh yeah, doesn't that look good? That looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? So that's basically, guys, that's the base complete. That is it done. I think we've done it. I might add a few more plants here and there on top of the roof. Or actually, let's add in a little half pillar up here. Now, a little skinny half pillar up here, and we change it to the stone. And look what it turns into. It's pretty funky. We do a variant of it. You get a little ball. Look at the little ball. Isn't that the best little ball you've ever seen? So yeah, we're going to go with the little ball. I think that's such a cool detail. But guys, I think that is the base. Oh, no it's not. No, it's not. I'm also going to show you one more thing. One last thing. JVH Garden decor bench. This is the JVH Garden decor bench. Let me place it over here somewhere. Again, just type in JVH on the mod page and this will come up as well. You've got some fancy stuff in here. But the thing that I want is JVH paths. Sorry. JVH paths. And once you've crafted that up, you've got this nice little stone pathway. And my thought is, I'm going to go around the entire base using the JVH paths everywhere. Just like this. So I'm going to place them in. There are variants to this, so you can change it to, look, one big stone. Like this. You can change it to two little stones. So you can mix and match as you wish. But my thought is we're going to go around the entire build with this in a big circle. And if I do that, I might actually end up just shortening this slightly on each, shave off the ends either side of that. But that's what I'm planning. But that's all I wanted to say. So guys, I think, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is go away and do the whole interior. So we did the layout, but I'm just going to go ahead and decorate this all now. But don't worry, because I'll show you everything during the base tour and you'll get a good idea of how you could decorate this yourself. But as always, I think you guys can do way better than me with the decorations. So if you do think you can do better, do join the Discord and show me what you end up doing with the interior. I'd love to see what you guys end up doing, all the little changes you make to the builds to suit your needs. I think it's cool to see what everyone ends up doing. So on that note, I'm going to go away and do all of that now. And I'll see you guys after the cinematic shots. Welcome back, ladies and jelly spoons. The base is all complete and I am ready to give you the grand tour. Look at this baby over here. Look at this. Isn't she a beauty? Right, let's park up and I'll discuss all the little details that I added after the tutorial. Nothing too much on the outside, mainly on the inside, of course, with the decorations. Okay, so let's talk about this base. So obviously I used the Castlecraft Structures cosmetic, but if you don't have the Structures cosmetic downloaded, then you can just replace where I've done stone, you can do stone. Where I've done the wood, you just do wood. It's pretty simple, and then you can just paint the top white. I just cracked, my voice just cracked then, that's embarrassing. So I used all the Castlecraft skins across this base, but I also used the Frontier skins. Now the Frontier skins are part of the Bob Talltales DLC, so if you don't have that, it won't show up. Let me just show you where it is, because I know a lot of people who've just started ARK are a little confused, and oh my goodness me, where are they? There they are. So you've got all of these folders here. Once you get the Bob Talltales DLC, you'll have these folders, And in there, you'll get your steampunk skins. Oopsie daisy. You'll get your frontier skins as well. And then I use the frontier structure skin, which then you can use and you can put it on beams like this. Honestly, if you don't have the Bobtail Tales DLC, then the vanilla stuff, the vanilla pillars are fine here as well. They still do a good job of kind of highlighting and contrasting against the Castlecraft skins. I think it works really well. Now, you might notice this lovely little path I put in. This is from JVH Garden Decor. It's a JVH Garden Decor path. And the lights here are all part of the Castlecraft decor. Basically, all the furniture and decorations you see today are all Castlecraft decor, just so you know. So at the back of the base, we have our lovely stick out section with the underneath that doesn't have a building underneath. Instead, we got this lovely stables here. Now, I did all of this section for you guys in the tutorial, but then when it came to the stables, I didn't add that in. But honestly, it's so simple. I just added in some quarter walls and some railings. It's that simple. And it's, you know, you could probably do a better job of the stables back here than I did, honestly. And then I just added in some trowels in front of it just to make it look pretty, like they're eating out their trowels. Is it trowel or trough? I'm going to make a complete fool of myself now, aren't I? I think it's trough. Okay, I found it on Google. This is how it's pronounced.
Trough.
It's trough. I called it a trowel. That's so embarrassing. Okay, well, coming around here after that embarrassment, these barrels here are just placed in, and then I just added in some plants on top. It's my new favorite thing to do. I do like putting some plants on top of these. Now, you can either use the JVH landscaping plants, or you can use the Bobtail Tales plant box. Okay, that's not skinned. That's fine. I also used the JVH plants up here as well on the roof, but I did all of that in the tutorial. In fact, most of this stuff I did in the tutorial. I think maybe I didn't do the lights in the tutorial, so I've added in some lights coming down from these little pillars. So I added in some skinny pillars, and I added in a castle decor light coming down. For the bigger chains, you might notice we've got these chains here and even longer on this section here. Now, this chain's literally just a skinny pillar that I skinned in the Castlecraft Dungeons skin, and it turns it into chains, which I absolutely love. And I've just noticed that I haven't placed this in properly, so it's just floating, and that's absolutely fine, because I'm amazing. Now, the build will be kind of difficult to do on official servers, I think, because of the clipping nature of the build. I did try and keep clipping down to a minimum, so it probably is possible, but you might have a few little gaps here and there in places. But oh my god, I love it. And we've got two towers. They're not actually accessible. I should have made that tower there accessible. I've just realized that you can't even get into this tower inside. So we'll have a look at that in a second. Let's pop on inside and see what we did. So on the inside here, guys, I kept it very open plan. I didn't bother, you know, closing sections off. I like to keep my builds fairly open and airy. Not all the time. Sometimes I like to have little cozy rooms. But to the right here, we've got ourselves a little smithing area. Nothing too special. We've got a smithing table here. This smithing table is actually part of the Clingers mod. And then we got our usual forges and a little table here with a mortar and pestle on top. Over here, we got a tiny little, very simple kitchen. I put a tap down and then I used one of these boxes here. Now, these boxes are part of visual storage. You can add in little vegetable boxes and stuff, which is pretty cool. But I used the box here to make it look like a sink, which works quite well. A little preserving bin. Nothing great. Guys, as always, I know that you guys can do 1,000 times better than me with the interiors. So if you end up doing this base and you do your own interior, do show me what you guys end up doing. I'd love to see it. Over here, we got ourselves a little dining table using all the Castlecraft decor stuff. We've got ourselves the Castlecraft bookshelves, we've got books, we've got the harp, which actually plays music, by the way. I won't play any music now. We've got more bookshelves, a little storage box, and these all are functional, guys. You can actually use these, which is pretty cool. We've got a storage box. You've got the bookshelf as well. Pretty awesome. You've also got all these little knickknacks on the table, the plates and stuff. And the beautiful chandelier coming down. Now, I did decide to add in beams going across the roof line here. Just a quarter wall down, I thought maybe I'll add some beams in the room. And I think that works quite well. Just to lower the ceiling a little bit. I could have done more to it, to be honest, but I didn't want it to feel too cramped. This dino head up here is actually part of the wall and floor mod, which I've got down here. You just place down the bench from wall and floor. As you can see, it's wall and floor. And then you can just go into wall decor and get your trophy mounts. So, well, those are the trophy mounts. Where are the trophy heads? They're the trophy heads. So you can get all these cool trophy heads. But you do need some crazy stuff to be able to craft them. So you need like fire talons for this fire wyvern trophy. And 250 pelt for just that Jabura trophy as well. So yeah, it's a great mod. It's a fantastic mod. Okay, so let's pop on upstairs now. Actually, no, let's show you. We do have a double doorway here to go out to the stables, which I quite like. But yeah, let's pop on upstairs now. The stairs, this is the first time I've just used quarter stairs for a staircase. The only sad thing about using quarter stairs is the railings don't snap to it. So you have to be a bit sneaky with how you snap railings. The way I did it is I placed in a railing here, and then you kind of go off this railing and go down, and then you can remove this railing and they somehow stay in place. I don't know how. Now again, up here, I have kept it all very open plan and airy. I think there's great opportunities to block off into different rooms up here, make it like a proper medieval kind of house. But I tried to go half practicality up here. I've got our chemistry benches here. I tried to make it a little bit practical, as if I was actually going to be living in this. So we've got chemistry benches here, our industrial cooker. At the back, we've got a giant storage section with all of our vaults. We even have beer barrels up there as well. You got more room. If you put a ladder here, you got more room up here on these sections. Now, I did kind of break this room up a little bit because I put in beams here to kind of break up the storage section from the rest of this area. And I also placed in walls here, which I did do during the tutorial. And I said I'd probably put a bedroom in here, which I absolutely did. Let's pop in here. So again, this is all decorated with the Castlecraft decor. I love that mod so much. Look at all the fun stuff you can get. The mat, the beds, the books. I absolutely love it. We come out here. We got ourselves some tapestries. Again, all Castlecraft decor. Pretty cool tapestries. That head up there is wall and floor. I forgot to add in the chain for that pillar. I'm going to quickly do that now just to show you guys as well live. So we got Castlecraft down here. The dungeon skin. Let's place in the dungeon skin on top of that. There we go. Look, we got ourselves a chain and then another chain coming down from that. I love that. Okay, so let's pop over here. And these sofas over here, these are part of the Bob Tall Tales DLC. So if you don't have Bob Tall Tales, you won't be able to craft up these sofas. But it is a DLC and not a mod. So it's kind of counts as the main game. Again, we got our bookshelves at the back and our little desk and reading area. This is actually where you craft up all your Castlecraft decor stuff. As you can see, you got it all in here and then you can craft it up. So that's, if you've got the mod, that's how you do it. But if you don't have the mod, you can do the cosmetic version and place it all in that way. Let me just quickly show you. So this is it here, Castlecraft decor. So you got the interior, you got the exterior, you got flags and shields, wall signs, dungeon. So if you don't have the mod installed, you can just use this instead. But there you go, guys. There's honestly not too much to show off here. I was going to just quickly say, let's have a look at the back here. If we delete this wall, is this where the it is where the tower is? Look, we got our tower in here, which I never opened up to the world. But I don't even know what I'd do in there, to be honest. Maybe I'll put in a little staircase going up so we can look at the, what's the staircase? Probably a ladder. So we can look out these windows, but that's all I would do. That's all I would do. We also have a tower up there, which we haven't utilized, but they're really for decorations for the outside. They're not really meant to be used particularly. Is there anything else I need to talk about in here? I don't think there is. I think we've covered everything. I mean, it's quite a small base all in all. It's actually not a very big base at all. So I think all that's left to say is that I'm an amazing artistic builder and you should all love me and subscribe. Okay guys, well that does conclude today's base tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. This base will be available for tier 3 members. I'll make sure I get that uploaded after the video goes out, and I'll have plenty more builds just like this one to come. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button, comment down below what you want to see me build next, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. So without further ado, love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next video.